Construction productivity hasn't improved since the 1960s. According to McKinsey and other researchers and the US government, construction productivity has declined in the United States by 25% since 1968. Contrast that with other industries, this is a big problem. So, in the same time, other industries have become far more efficient, far more productive. Take manufacturing, it's about 4 times more productive, or agriculture, 10 times more productive. We don't even need to talk about tech and finance, which have become many multiples more productive since the 1960s. What does that mean in real terms? It means that we're building no faster or cheaper or more efficient today than in the era of rotary phones and typewriters. Since 1968, we're building no faster or cheaper or more efficiently than then. Now, all that is despite advances in technology, material sciences, and different kinds of tools and equipment. Productivity is a measure of how efficiently inputs are converted into outputs. And so for construction, that means every square foot built per labor hour, or the dollar of value per each worker per day. We are no more efficient building today than in the 60s. On a policy level, this is really problematic. Construction is about 7 to 8% of the US GDP. It employs millions of people, and lots of our needs and the things of our society require the construction field. So think climate goals or infrastructure or affordable housing. All that relies on a cheaper, a more efficient construction industry. So what's going on? What's the reason for this declining productivity? First, you have, relative to other industries, a real underinvestment in research and development. In manufacturing, manufacturing companies spend about 4% of revenues on research and development. Construction is about 1%. The industry is deeply fragmented. Most construction companies are small local firms. 90% of construction companies are less than 20 employees. So that makes it hard to scale. It makes it hard to spend money for research and development. In general, the industry has a low adoption of technology. Compared to other industries, the construction sector is slow to adapt different tools or automation or data-driven project management. I've seen that a ton in my line of work. Every project is different in construction. So unlike the manufacturing process or agricultural processes, construction is almost always project-based. And because of that, it's harder to create efficiencies like an assembly line does. In general, you have an inefficiency in coordination with different players, whether it's general contractors or subcontractors or suppliers, vendors, clients. All of that leads to delays and waste, especially when architects or designers or clients change minds as projects take place. There have been a lot of governmental red tape that have led to inefficiencies, regulations, and permitting delays, especially in urban areas. That leads to slowdowns. We also have a real shortage in skilled labor. As the skilled labor force ages, there's a skill gap. We have not sufficiently improved our training infrastructure for the next generation of construction leaders. There's also an inefficiency in risk allocation. Traditional contracts push down risk down the chain from general contractor to subcontractor to second tier subcontractor to vendors. And the parties with the least control have the least the parties with the least control have the least financial cushion. And that discourages innovation. It's usually small companies with not a lot of financial cushion that would be the ones who would have to innovate, and they're just not. There's other contributing factors like weather or change orders or rework or job site logistics. All of that creates delays on projects and eats away at efficiencies. So what's working to improve it? First, there's a increase in the last few years of digital project management. Companies like Procore or PlanGrid or Autodesk Construction Cloud All of these companies are trying to streamline communication and accountability and transparency on projects. That has had a huge impact on the efficiency on projects and the productivity in the industry. We've also seen an increase in prefab and modular construction by moving work offsite into controlled environments and then bringing them on site. Those companies have seen huge gains in construction productivity. We've seen improvements due to BIM, building information modeling, that improves planning and execution of construction projects. And we've also started to see the improvement of or the adoption of lean construction practices, a manufacturing-based philosophy that's borrowed from the manufacturing sector to reduce waste and improve flow on construction sites. Since the 1960s, construction productivity is actually down. And when you contrast that with the other industries, this is a huge problem for society. And society reliant on the construction industry for infrastructure, climate goals, and affordable housing needs to make construction more efficient.